Hello, 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 you guys. Welcome back to the KOMO Show. I mean, it feels so good to just say that after what? Been forever, isn't it? We are back after 5 months. It's been 5 months. And if you're wondering about the break, let me quickly tell you and fill you in. My dearest Sakhi Koyall has decided to take a personal break, and I'm so proud of her for doing so. But as they say, the show must go on. So today I have someone new, fresh, partner in crime, my dear friend Jane. Welcome, Jane, to the KOMO Show. Ta-da! Drum roll, all you. Stop. I was so excited. The first high five in the show, Jane. This was so cool.
Do you even have sort of matching hair?
Yeah, we do. Mine is a wig. That's the only difference. Hers is real. I just hope the wig doesn't come off throughout the show, though.
No, it looks fantastic. Oh my God, I love this set. I love this. It feels like we have our own TV show.
Yes, it does, right? Finally, did all that we want. I would see, it's exciting. It was Jane and I. We connected just a few days ago, and I was like, I've been hunting for like the right person because, you know, it's not easy to kind of have an existing show and then find someone who's going to be able to keep up the vibe and like just talk about things that we do, which are not very comfortable sometimes.
Absolutely. Some conversations were uncomfortable, but the fact that, when you reached out and then I looked you up on Instagram, girls talk, girls like nobody else who are like CID agents. And then I'm like, this is a Mrs. India. She's fucking gorgeous, and I'm gonna go do the show with her. And I was just so excited.
Yeah, I'm just happy that you're starting it all. Like, Happy New Year, you guys. Happy New Year. Happy wish each other. Happy New Year, happy trip. Hey, brand new thing started to you guys as well. Happy 2025. We are literally filming, I think, on the 4th of January. She and I, like I said, we connected last week. She has been an RJ. The lady's going to tell you about her before we even get started because we are going to talk about a very juicy topic today, literally and figuratively.
Chicken breast. Just one half of it.
We're going to talk about our own breast, actually. But before we do so, I'm going to have Jane just quickly fill you guys in about who she is, what she does, just so briefly they can know you.
All right. So I was born in Nigeria, raised in the Gulf.
Oh, you were born in Nigeria. Okay, that's new.
I have some African blood running in my veins. And then I went to school in the Gulf. So an NRI kid who has just said hello to.
That's Dope, by the way. That's one of my dogs. I'm sorry, guys. Dope's in the king.
Hello there. So, after that, I went to school in the Gulf and then I came back to India and I realized India is a country that I love and I want to stay here. I want to be on air. So, yeah, I went on radio. I've interviewed around 5,000 guests.
What? Damn.
Yeah. The likes of Shashi Tharoor.
Shall I go away?
No, don't.
For nobody.
No, you're not. And that is the beauty of, the internet today. The beauty of the internet today. I think what you bring to the table and what so many people bring to the table these days as creators, they come from different realms of life.
Yeah.
And they're able to add so many layers to different conversations.
Yeah.
So whether it's about dress or fashion, I'm not a fashion girl at all.
You'd look like one, bro.
But that's the whole point, right?
You wore the color of the year. You are in sync with the Pantone colors, if I may say. So you do look like a fashion girly to me.
Which is what I'm trying to say. I think today there's a whole cross-border of different people from different walks of life coming together.
Yeah.
And I think that is why I wanted to do this show with you. Because, I think as girls who come from absolutely different backgrounds,
Yeah.
could be as different as chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
But the idea is that even when you're different, you exist in diversity. I'm really excited because the first topic you've chosen for today is something that I was like, okay, I am going to do the show because of this topic. Tell us.
Do you want to know why I chose this topic?
Yeah, go for it.
But before that, guys, we are actually talking about big boobs and small boobs. So when I saw Jane, I was like, okay, so I'm pretty creative that way. Ideas really pop into my head really fast. And I'm like, I saw you, and I was like, I couldn't get over your chest, the chest department that you were so blessed. And I was like, look, because I am nothing. I come from the itty bitty titty committee, the flat-chested president of the flat-chested department. And then I was like, why don't we just talk about the fact that I fucking always want big boobs and maybe she wants smaller? I don't even know, but I'm a fan.
So, thank you very much. I stand that. But what I want to say is that every time I've looked at a candle, or now you right here, right across me, I feel that women with like smaller breasts can carry any outfit off with such panache. Like that's the word. There's so much style. And I mean, you don't even have to think about whether it's gonna look out of place or that thin border between vulgarity and finesse.
I think, yeah, right. I don't even, oh yeah, finesse is a great word for that. I mean, I wish we could look at it the same way. And that's what we're going to talk about throughout the show today. Like,
I mean, one of the top paid models today has not got a boob. True. Look at Gary.
look at Gigi, look at Bella.
Yeah, I mean,
All of them are trophy.
so I would not say that big breasts are bad, but I
Kim
would.
Kardashian is richer than her, you see that? And I have a point, she has the bigger boobs. But we're going to get through this whole debate of what do you prefer, what do you like, and what is it that our perspectives are on both. So the topic today is big boobs versus small boobs. I'm thrilled.
I want to actually add some more categories, if I may, right? So I did a little research. It's like big, small, uneven, perky, saggy, asymmetric. Did you know there are different sizes, shapes? Like boobs are as varied as Indian weather.
Wow. And my head was just stuck to big boobs and small boobs. Clearly so, the girl couldn't think beyond that. I wake up in the morning and I tell my husband every day, you know what, I need a boob job. And towards the night, no, I can't do it. So look at the categories. So yeah, big boobs, small boobs, uneven boobs.
Uneven, saggy, because as you age or you smoke or, it's genetics or
You have 216.
yeah.
It sags.
I don't even know if it's a myth that if you have too much sex or if it's being manhandled or played with, it gets like, I don't know, there's so many things on the internet, but basically women have breasts of all kinds.
Right. And some
You have heard friends say that my left breast
Yes,
is bigger
I've
than
said
my
that,
right,
yeah.
stuff like that, right?
Of course, precisely. So you know why with my next, I was gonna say that. Why is it that we're even talking about boobs? Like that was the next point. This is why. There's so many categories of it, and we are forever unhappy, either unsatisfied. I mean, it's just so much going on. But I think one of the primary reasons, if I have to ask you, why do you think we're not even talk about boobs?
I think from my perspective, I want to ask women out there and also men who balk at breasts. I mean, you're allowed to do it. I know they're beautiful. But is somebody's worth just dependent on their cup size?
Oh,
That is, I really want to delve into that because, there's a lot of questions around that. I think there's no such thing as the perfect breast. I think your breast is perfectly yours.
no, you know whose breasts are perfect?
Kim Kardashian? No.
You know the lady Whistledown?
Oh, yes.
And did you see the one interview where the guy, I think the interviewer kind of asked, he's pretty fucking cocky, and he goes and asks her, so how does it feel that girls like you are kind of coming out? So she goes, what do you mean, girls with the perfect breast?
Say you have to acknowledge you are very brave for this role and this
You know, it is hard because I think women with my body type, women with perfect breasts, don't.
And does. In fact, there's a scene in which he's looking down at her and there is nothing to look at but this view of the whole.
Lovemaking scene.
It's just incredible.
I mean, that's why I like big boobs. I want her boobs. I don't have those boobs. Now you know where I'm coming from. But you know, when when I thought of the topic, I thought we'll speak about this also because I feel not one woman in this world
Is happy with her breast?
is happy with her breast, number one, or goes by the day without thinking about the breast at least once.
Yes, at some point in
At
time.
some point during the day, in the entire 24 hours, we think of our breast at least once.
Recently, I was talking to my sister-in-law and she said that, dude, I had these sudden like weird things in my boobs and she got a check. She had a mammogram. It wasn't anything. It was just some hormonal fluctuation. But the point is, yes, you're
We're
right.
all thinking about the boobs.
It's either the health or the size or what bra to wear.
The cup size is incorrect. With this dress, what bra do I wear? Oh my God, my boobs are looking tender today. Oh my God, my boobs are this, my period. Like we are fucking thinking about boobs all the time. If not all the time, at least once a day.
Once a day, minimum.
Minimum.
I think men think about it all the day, all day long, 24/7.
And the ones who has it do not read once, at least once. So we talk for that one time, not for the men who thinks about it all the time. So today's topic is mostly about to kind of, see what's in your mind.
Yeah. Also, if you have this question in your head as a girl, is it too much? Is it not enough?
Yeah.
I think somewhere at the end of this episode,
You will
whatever you feel, I don't know. I think we need to be happy with what we have.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're going to get to, right?
And if you're not happy, get it done. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll also
whatever
suggest
is your choice.
good doctors. I'll suggest good doctors because I have done so much research on who are the best doctors. So let's start off with, since we are personally have big boobs and small boobs, do you want to do like pros and cons of what?
Of course. So the pros of like having big breasts is just the fact.
Sorry.
It's just that when you look at yourself in the mirror every day, you feel like a goddess. And I will take you to the origin story of the whole evolution of how breasts were perceived across time.
Okay.
But just a little bit of a sneak peek. When the pros are women and their breasts were considered divine. So big breasts are like just divine. They're not supposed to be sexualized. Yeah. So the pros for me are that. But that's the main one big pro. But the con is the fact that to find the right sort of outfits that make it look classy and not tacky, I think that is the biggest. And you're a designer and you have your own label. You would probably understand this better.
Right, yeah.
But it's extremely difficult to dress up your big boobs right.
Yeah, no, I blame the fashion industry for that. Like, make better clothes, bring in no cup sizes. Like a small brand like Miss Omo can do it. I'm sure you can too. Yes. But then I feel like big boobs are only pros and no cons. But I get what you're saying because my friends with big boobs, they'll be like, dude, finding the right bra size or even working out, like the back
working
pain.
out. Back pain, I haven't, I mean, I have friends who are size E. They've told me about it.
Right.
But yeah, when I saw my friend with a size E and she's pretty much small, it's just her breasts that are that big.
Wow, she's the luckiest girl in the world.
No.
Her boyfriend is. Yeah, because so every time because I'm complaining and cribbing a lot, oh God, I don't have boobs, and all the women around me, especially the women who come and work for my brand and film for my brand, they're from 2XS to 5XL. So I see all boob sizes almost, right? And like, Rinima, you don't know how painful this is. Like the stairs at times.
The stairs can be very specific. People can just like, if you're
It's like they're having more
in public
conversations with your
boobs
boobs than
than
with
your
your-
eyes ever. Yeah,
Right.
so my eyes are here.
No, for me, if I think of small boobs, pros and cons, pros, like you said, it's just easy to get into clothes like this and still look like athletic and, not necessarily, but again, I wouldn't say vulgar because then that's just how society fucking conditions it. I find it gorgeous. I never find it vulgar when your boobs are out. I love it. But I think clothes, because industry can make certain kind of clothing. I am very athletic, so it allows me to run a lot, allows me to play tennis without the bounce and everything, So,
And then you can go braless, right? That's the biggest.
I'm not wearing a bra right now. And then you are.
I can never work out without one. I mean, I can, but definitely not.
So I have my beautiful titty pads and nipple pads.
That's it.
And unless I'm in Finland and I'm in -6 degrees and my tits are not as hard as like a quarry, I don't even have to wear titty pads. My tits are not standing, so it just settles down with like thick materials like that. So that's like the biggest freaking advantage. I go braless 300 days of the year, 65 days I wear a bra.
So I go braless 50% of the 365, which is when I sleep. But otherwise, I'm always wearing up. So yeah, that. But of late, I've realized like there's certain clothes that I can get away without wearing one. But it's extremely difficult to find those pieces of clothing.
I'll see you. Miss Momo shall help you with that.
Man, let's do that.
But the cons is like sometimes I really feel inadequate. And I don't know, and I think I should really talk to my therapist more about it. I have so much of anxiety and shit that I haven't even got to the boost point with her. But one day, certainly I shall. But I feel like I feel so inadequate at times. There are moments where you want to be very romantic and you just feel like, I want to seduce my husband or, whatever. And I feel like I have to pinch my boobs to get a cleavage. And sometimes I just feel, especially when I work out a lot, I lose so much weight around my boobs that, they get so tiny and bony. And that's when I'm like, dude, like, what happened to my sensuality? Like, I'm not sensuous enough. Or
I think this has a lot to do with what your mind is feeling. And I think body dysmorphia is exactly about that. It's either about small boobs or women having big boobs, big ass, big thighs. I mean, different parts of the body, right?
Yeah.
Like all through my 20s and 30s, I think the conditioning was a woman has to have a certain like kind of body, a certain kind of like structure or a figure or, a fuller figure, but, thin waist, big ass. I mean, there's
just
so
beauty
many
fucking
standards, right?
realistic beauty standards.
So
that
it's not
society
just
said.
you going through this.
Yeah, it's also the societal conditioning.
It's the conditioning, and it's just like they're all on the fine gram all the time. Everybody's swiping, and
everybody has big boobs. All the influencers with 1 million or 9 million followers.
Yeah.
There's one body type. Haven't you noticed?
I have.
It's big boobs, small waist,
big ass,
booty.
again thin
Skin
legs.
size. Like
Did you see that meme in which they put a grasshopper out there, which has got exactly all of that, and they're like, "This is your body type."
So basically,
which
that's
is sad, right?
That is very sad. I mean, it's undermining the kind of beauty that's out there.
It's not just about undermining the beauty. Off air, we were talking about how a woman is way beyond her boobs, and I think because content is so centered today around like your boobs and your body, because that gets more views or whatever, and that gets more like comments and stuff. I think there is so much of like a little barrier in your head as to what your boobs and your body needs to look like all the time, which is sad because you shouldn't ideally be going through this at all.
I shouldn't be. Exactly.
No, not at
Precisely
all.
why we're talking about it. So that other women do not go through it.
Yeah.
And we share our story.
You think that way, and I think, oh my God, I need to, like, every time I overeat or every time I have a binge eating, episode, because that's what happens to certain women who are in the plus size, I am always blaming myself. Like, I went to Dubai with my family and I ate a lot, which is fine. It's holiday week. But I'm constantly thinking, oh my God, I'm going to become a D. I'm going to become like an XXL. So it's whichever area of life you're in terms of, like whatever bracket, you're overthinking your body. And I think we need to be kinder to our body.
Of course. And I think the society needs to be kinder to us.
I mean, I don't know how much it costs today to, I want to talk about this because it's this sort of dysmorphia that leads to that. I don't know if it's $1 million, $2 million, whatever. You can buy a body.
Oh, so
I don't know how much
I
it
did
is.
some research.
Right.
You guys can look it up. So the breast augmentation market is worth whooping $2 billion globally per year.
These babies are worth $2 billion.
Women are spending $2 billion every year globally just to keep changing what they were given naturally. That's insane, isn't it?
I mean,
Not how unhappy we are.
and they're also going for specific. Like I watched multiple reels where
Yeah,
they say,
fat transfer.
I want a Kylie body.
Yeah.
I want a
Kim Kardashian boob.
Exactly. And like, I'm like, why aren't you just happy with, who you are naturally? But there is also a movement now, at least with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, a little bit of diversity. And I think in the current and contemporary times, at least, I feel there's more diversity too. And there was.
We are living in a better era for sure. And I
Yeah.
always consider myself privileged that look at the era we are living in. We're able to make this show. We are able to talk about these things so comfortably.
Absolutely.
And there are two boys filming us right now, and they're just doing it with such ease. Because we fortunately live in an era where things are rapidly changing towards the good side of it. But again, I always feel it's 2 steps front and 10 steps backwards, right? So, with the amount of people also on the wrong side of it.
Yeah.
But anywho, I'm curious. I'm curious to hear about the evolution. So you're gonna tell me a story, and it's a boob story. So I'm excited about this story. Fuck evolution of men. Let's talk about evolution of boobs.
Evolution of men, we're putting that aside. Let's not worry about Charles Darwin. Let's worry about the evolution of breasts. It's an interesting story.
All right.
And I did a little bit of digging up.
I'm
right?
now digging. Come on. The best things to dig.
Let's do this. Okay. So I'm going to go back to ancient world civilization. Okay. Now imagine a lady called the Venus of Willendorf. Now this is a prehistoric figure. Imagine her with exaggerated breasts. Okay, nurturing power. She looks like this deity and she's beautiful. Also imagine the ancient sculptures of
I was
Khajuraho.
just gonna say, right? All our temples and everything. Yeah.
So these of full women, and in those days, back in the ancient civilization, breasts were not objectified at all. It was synonymous with divine and beautiful and, all of the good words in the dictionary.
Right.
So that's where it all started. And then it went to the Middle Ages, which is when this word called modesty that we now talk about came about. So breasts were hidden under then layers of clothing. So it didn't get the fashion evolution. This is where it began. Right. People started hiding stuff. And I'm sure you watch shows
The sad
where,
era.
the sad era where, societal norms were tied to religion and morality. And that is how people started covering up. But then came the Renaissance. I'm sure you've heard of the
Yes, of
Renaissance
course,
period.
yes.
So the Renaissance period, breasts became symbols of sensuality, and that is when breasts were once again considered beautiful. But then again, we went to the Victorian era. Now, the Victorian era.
It's all about being prim and proper.
Tell me, what was the one fashion piece that came out of the Victorian era?
Corsets.
Yes, actually.
glad I knew
That is
it.
what it is. Now, do you know why corsets were invented?
So that it can accentuate the boobs and then smaller waist and everything.
Absolutely. So that was the idea about how breasts still remain taboo, but they were pushed up. Now, the modern 20th century kind of revamped that entire thing because breasts were still taboo. No, in the 1920s and 1950s. 1950s, tell me one blonde actress you can think of.
Marilyn Monroe.
Absolutely right.
Thank God, girl, you know your history. We are good at this. Yes, come on.
Breasts became central to the ideal of womanhood, but you know what happened to Marilyn Monroe, right? The ending was
I
sad.
was watching the documentary once again yesterday. I mean, it's still a mystery.
I mean, it's still sad that a woman who was Marilyn Monroe after her
Richest
death,
woman in the world,
there are theories, conspiracy theories of her being molested after she died.
Really, with a dead body?
Yeah. Because and there are also lots of theories of women in that time. They were locked and cremated because
People who just molest dead body, which is
very, very sad.
humanity, the worst
Yep.
creation of God. I'm not surprised.
60s and 70s, which is what you're talking about, is when feminist movements and liberation came about. The whole bra burning, evolution came about. And women said, why are you sexualizing our breasts so much? We do not wear bras.
It's a part of our body.
It is part of our body. It is what it is. And then body positivity was born. That is
That's
how...
the era we live in.
That's where we are. Hashtag normalize normal bodies. And today it is about, are they healthy vis-a-vis how do they look? I mean, I know you would say in the fashion world, it's still, how do they look, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
But where we stand today is breasts are no longer a symbol of femininity, no longer just symbols of femininity or sexuality. They are representations of individuality,
Beautiful.
of choice,
Each breast is different.
and freedom. Yes,
Right?
yes. And I mean, while this topic might look trivial or superficial to most people,
It's so realistic and pragmatic. Like,
it's metaphorical.
it is. Yeah.
I mean, you are married, I am single, you have small breasts, I have big breasts. We have so many differences, yet what unites us at this juncture on this show is the fact that we're ready to accept each other.
and celebrate the differences.
Absolutely. So that is the closing thought of
I
how
love that.
the world has gone through the ups and the downs, and the history has been pretty crazy. But at one point back in the day, breasts were just divine. And I think we should bring that back. Hashtag breasts are divine.
Any size in any shape, even if it's uneven, okay? It is divine.
And especially people who go through breast cancer and have them.
I know Angelina Jolie, like even without it, like she's gorgeous with or without the breast.
And I mean, she has, of course, done surgeries or augmentation. But there's so many brands today that are supporting women who've, chopped off their breasts and taken it off. And they're like, I'm sure you've seen reels where women are not wearing anything, just like men, saying, accept me with my scars.
Yeah, I think nude beaches, what do you think all those are? I think triggers of the amount of objectification women have faced in this area. I'm like, why can't people just see it like how I have fingers, how I have maybe thighs and I have maybe vajayjay, I just have boobs.
Yes, that's it.
Men have them too, just that it's not as big as ours.
Absolutely.
Just out of the farm.
And in India, there are actors like Neha Dubia and many others who are now talking about, I know we're not addressing this in this episode, but just a light touch, breastfeeding in public.
Yeah, why is it such a taboo? Like even today, do you get those stares?
It literally, breasts, if you look at it, biologically, it is the origin of humankind.
Yeah,
you got to feed on a woman's breast to become an adult, right?
For your nutrients.
Yeah,
The very first nutrition you get is basically from there, and still it's such a taboo and such a big deal. Well, that evolution just kind of opened 100 questions in my head, 100 thoughts in my head. Thank you for doing that, Day. Like, I did not, although I knew about the course, the way you just broke it down, it's just going to make it so easy for others to also kind of get, which era and whatever that is. But again, I keep saying that fortunately we live in the good era, and we talk more and more about, while you spoke about brands, like since we are on that topic, let's speak about representation. Absolutely. I think, there's so much brands can learn, there's so much we can learn, there's so much people can learn from because I think there are brands who can make this? They already have the name, they have the fame, they have the platform.
And there are celebrities. So I'm going to tell you about, I'm sure, are you like a Savage Fenty girl?
I am.
So when their lingerie brand became famous, what they did was they did this Bear It All campaign.
Oh.
And that was this year or earlier this year, where they designed, post-surgery friendly designs for their lingerie. And they have sizes up to 4XL, which you also believe in,
Yeah.
right?
I'm going to talk about, like, I do, like, my brand runs from, there's a reason, like, when I started my brand, Miss Momo, and I think one of my mentors who really looks at the business part of it, he's like, doing 2XS, there are reasons why brand do not do 2XS to 5XL. It doesn't work out very well from a business perspective. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it because there are women on all those goddamn sizes. But I'll tell you the challenge I faced as a designer when I was trying to source breast cups from India, and even overseas, mainly from India, I wouldn't find anything beyond 2XL. So which is sad. It's freaking sad. And I remember there was this one shoot that went so wrong where I brought in a 5XL model and you could see that the clothes weren't fitting her, and we still went about with the shoot. I got a lot of backlash for it, and I kind of welcome it, honestly, because I think I should be held accountable as one of the brand owners of women's wear clothing brand for not having the right cup size for that girl. It's on me, and I think I hope a lot more people kind of come out and take their accountability.
Also, we live in a country where I think women literally span every size.
Yes.
And I mean, today we're embracing, a woman who's really big and a woman who's really small. And I don't know if you watch these reels where, women of different sizes walk the ramp.
Oh, it's lastly Victoria's Secret.
Incredible.
Most recent one.
The fact that they have, they have a Gigi, they have a Kendall, they also have like an Ashley Graham, they have like
Candice, married women. So all age groups, married, unmarried. All sizes,
Differently
all
abled.
colors, differently able, all boob sizes. Like, while Bella is killing it out there with her like bony chest and the little boobs, which fucking is amazing. At the same time, there are women with like just curvy. I don't remember her name, but
Ashley Graham.
Ashley Graham. Damn it, thank you, Ashley Graham, out there with like her beautiful.
She is the poster child for every plus size woman.
She is.
And I think she's gorgeous. And I think today, when you look at beauty standards, and we have to talk about it because it runs social media, brands, and all of that. The fact that you as a designer or me as just a person who likes to dress up, if I have access to clothes that fit me right,
You will just explore.
absolutely. And I will feel gorgeous
Yeah.
every day instead of sitting at home and thinking, oh, I'm too fat for this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
and
like,
that's so deep rooted in patriarchy, by the way. Like, I feel like it is, beauty standards by itself is so deep rooted in patriarchy that people kind of like, somehow men decide what's good and what's not good.
That is the sad part because, I don't know if you've had this. I've had dating experiences where I've gone out on dates where the guy said I'm okay with curves. And then when he realizes that I'm bigger, he will not tell me that I'm bigger. He likes to have like that relationship, and explore. But then he goes and marries like a skinny woman after.
I will tell you my experiences that I have gone up to the point of saying, but where are your boobs?
Wow. So basically,
And I'm like, where is your
every-
Isn't it too small? Like, let's talk about that first. You give me this, maybe then I'll give you this. Like, you know what I mean? You don't get to come with a small and come tell me that I can't see your boobs. Where are they? Like, I can't find them. I'm like, bro, I can't find you. So,
So, which is why I think at this point in time, I want to talk about Dove. They brought out a campaign called Every Breast is Beautiful.
yeah, Dove has always been doing the right thing.
Absolutely. Showcase untouched or, unretouched photos of like diverse women of all sizes. And I think when brands do this, because sadly brands do run,
It validates.
it validates and it tells
It's the right way.
Absolutely. And when they do it the wrong way, they
Yeah.
there are massive campaigns that get shot down because someone has not thought diversity through. But I was talking to a designer in Dubai recently, and she tells me that, when it comes to women in the diverse spectrum, now there's further stereotyping where they either take too big models or too small.
Correct,
or
there's
too
nothing in
dark
between.
Or too fair.
Now they're trying it too much. They're
Yes.
trying too hard.
Yeah.
Where you find a balance.
What about the women who are somewhere in between?
I know what happens to them. Like, you're either 5XL or you're a bloody small or medium.
Absolutely.
Like, there's 2XL, there's 3XL, there's 4XL, there may be some in between, which is not even any XL but different proportions.
Absolutely. Adidas has done this right, though. I mean, they've done something called Support the Girls campaign, featuring athletes of various builds, and like someone like Serena Williams after her baby.
Oh, yeah.
With now you need, if you're big built and you're working out now, you don't have that problem when you're running, right?
The whole bouncy.
Yeah, but for us, we need the right sort of support.
Right.
And if it's a 5XL sports bra that holds it right, it just
You can just do everything.
Everything.
You can play your tennis, you can do your morning runs, you can do whatever you want, right?
Exactly.
I think the clothing industry really has to do so much in that regard. Like I said, like either you're doing it too much or you're not doing it at all.
At all, yeah.
Just there needs to come a brand, and I'm gonna try my best, but I'm not as big as your Victoria's Secret in that brand. This little breasted girl is gonna try her best.
But that's the whole interesting story, right? If every small or mid-sized entrepreneur in fashion, or with any brand really, talks about people, not just women. I'm going to extend this.
Yeah.
Women, men of all sizes.
Right.
Humans, of sizes, wearing body parts of varying sizes should all be accepted.
For sure.
Will a micro penis be accepted? I don't know about that.
Well, in today's world, I have a feeling girls are rejecting it. But then again, why not? We'll fight for you men too. And another episode, in another day, we shall bring that topic in.
So the whole idea, I think, is to sort of form like a common ground.
Yeah.
Where everybody feels beautiful because
Included.
they are.
Because that's the real world. Absolutely. Yeah. And the real world is actually this people, 7 billion people.
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe not even 500 million is the right size as society says it. The rest of them, the majority of them is actually normal human beings with different sizes and shapes.
How do you know, like, so I want you to give a tip to the ladies, big breasts, small breasts. If you're on social media and you are putting your body and your thoughts and your mind and your whatever it is out there, how do you make sure that you keep your body beautiful, you portray it well, but you also draw the thin line between vulgarity, obscenity, and class?
Right, I think that's where we mess up, right? For me, I do wear all kinds of clothes. I wear the tiniest of clothes at times. My bikinis are really tiny. Love it the way it is. But then will I ever go nude on camera? I don't think I have the balls to do it. And hats off to women who actually have the guts, who has the balls to do it. Hats off to you. But I know where you're coming from. I think at some point, some people do tend to cross the line.
I mean, and
we have seen influencers, let's be very honest. I personally know a few where there is this dear friend of mine, I'm not going to take her name. She does these whole nude photographs and she just bloody looks goddessy and just beautiful and serene.
I know the woman and I've interviewed her, and
wow,
it's wonderful because her layout in itself is very, very
That's
aesthetic.
art.
That is art. But there are some influencers.
Yes, who I think it has become like I think they feel like that's the only way they can lure the followers and they can lure audience in, and that's again something we are just objectifying ourselves. Like
Which is then again a very thin line between Instagram and OnlyFans.
Yeah, truly. There you go. I'm no harm making OnlyFans. If you're making your money, go do it. All good, all right? But I'm just saying that's not art though. OnlyFans is not art. I just tell you that.
business.
It's business. Food fetish, not art. Fucking fetish. So, do not call it art. Like, call it for what it is. If you have the guts and think to put it out there,
Absolutely.
I think you should just have the audacity to also call it for what you call it like you see it.
So when you're going to spend 90% of your time obsessing over how your body can draw in views, likes, that's when it's a problem.
That's a problem. You get what I'm saying? That if it's out because you are feeling the goddess energy and you don't give a fuck, you're dressing to express and not to impress, I think that's what I love.
Dressing to express, not to impress. Yeah. We got the hashtag for this show.
I just love women who do that, and that's classy.
Yeah.
Your boob size does not decide if you're classy or not. Your kind of clothing doesn't decide if you're not even wearing something, it doesn't define if you're classy or not. It's what you are.
Your clothes, your personality, your boobs, your size, it does not really at all reflect your inner character or the body of ethics that you come with.
In one line, don't gauge the woman with her boob size and what if it's out or not.
Do not judge the book by its cover.
Don't judge the boob by its Let's also talk about how the grass is always greener on the other side. The grass is greener syndrome, right? How small boobs complain about wanting big boobs complaining about wanting small boobs, uneven boobs complaining about even boobs. And then someone who has no boobs at all wants boobs. Like, there's so much that goes on.
I mean, it is, the grass is truly greener on the other side.
It all matters, actually.
Because, in all areas of life, but when it comes to breasts, it definitely is. The bigger ones are going for breast reduction. The smaller ones are going for breast augmentation.
So it is, some are taking it off because they don't want breast cancer. Some are like, transgenders who unfortunately are born with the wrong body are having to get it on. Like, I think of all of that,
There is a lot of conversation to be had, and I think just like mental health has become a big conversational topic in our country, I think talking about body dysmorphia, how you want your body to look, how to be satiated with your own body, or if you want to do something to it because you want to feel better, do it. Justified.
If you want to feel better, and we're going to talk about that while you were saying it, I'm going to bring this next thing in here. Why do you think women make changes to their natural breast? Do you think it's for them mostly or it's for men?
So I have a friend who did a breast augmentation surgery, and she went from a size A. And when she was in school, and I've been big all my life. I used to be like, this girl's got the perfect body. Like, why would she want to do anything? Because she looks sexy in everything.
Right.
But then she did, and she just told me, Jane, you know what? I feel I need this at this time. And I said, I'm all for it. I've been
What do you? Yeah.
Yeah, you do you. She got it done. But a couple of years down the line, I met her again and she said, Jane, I don't know why the fuck I did it. Now I'm like,
She got them bigger?
no, she got them removed because she suddenly had some sort of health complications which may or may not have been related to the augmentation.
Yeah.
But somewhere in her head, it sort of kept playing, and then when she got it removed, I don't know if it was psychosomatic, but then she felt so much better, and now she doesn't have them again
At all?
and she's back to wherever she was, and she's like, dude, this has been a journey of self-discovery and self-love and accepting my body as it was. So I don't know if everyone's journey is going to be the same. I don't know if everyone's mind is going to go through the same issues, because I'm not sure what exactly they put. I know it's silicone, but I don't know what.
There's also fat transfers, injections, and all those solid jazz. I've done so much research into it.
Yeah.
Considering the amount of boob jobs I've found.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to do it, do it. But think of the mental ramifications. Think of, as you grow older, are you going to be okay with, because there are
Maintenance,
there is-
sagging,
exactly.
risk, complications.
Yeah, the health complications. And now there's the reverse body, augmentation culture where a lot of, like, even the Jenners and the Kardashians are removing
Stuff,
removing stuff and saying, let's go natural.
And it's no joke. These surgeries are, I have friends, so because I have considered a boob job so hard in the last 4 years, and I have a confession to make, which I'm going to come back to, I have spoken to a lot of people who has done boob jobs, including doctors, and I think I'm grateful for this very first plastic surgeon that I met in Bangalore. Just about 4 years ago, I went with my husband, and I'm like, I want a boob job, and the guy, he was a male doctor, and he goes, you kind of look great, and although I should not be saying this because I'm going to not make money out of you, I want to tell you that, the amount of complications you're going to have, maintenance, boob sagging, cancer scares and whatnot, he discouraged me from the whole situation. And at that point I asked myself, why is it that I want to do a boob job? Because I never wanted to do a boob job before this. And I think it was also because I felt at some point that my husband might like bigger boobs. And that's the confession I'm here to make, that I don't think I ever considered a boob job because I love myself the way I am. I really think I'm one of the hottest looking women that exist in this world.
But don't you think I'm gonna psychoanalyze
Yeah,
that?
please.
Don't you think just a couple of minutes ago we talked about how no matter how much we love the man, no matter what he wants or doesn't want, don't you? Because I have heard another friend who's chubby who's told me that her husband has not been attracted to her when she was bigger, and so she goes on diets, and it's mentally there that she wants to constantly so don't you think if you just take a step back, if it's rooted in the fact that there is that validation that you need from a man, which he may not even hardcore need it, something
it's just me feeling, he has not even said it to me, you know what I mean?
So I mean, I'm just psychoanalyzing, saying that do you actually need it?
That's exactly what I'm confessing. I'm like, I don't think I ever need it. I love athletic body types. Honestly, that's me. I love to run like a child. I love doing those hardcore exercises, and precisely why I've never gotten it done, because I knew that at the back of my mind it wasn't me. I think it's for his desire. And then when he and I went to therapy for this, because I feel like sometimes there's help available and we need to, because someone like me can also fall into the trap of wanting validation at times, and mainly from my own partner. And I think when we sat through couples therapy, this was one of the biggest topic. And that's when he was like, but I think you have the most perfect boobs. Like, I married you because how you look, And I'm like, well, I don't need that validation or the other validation. I'm great the way I am. And today, I think whenever I told you, whenever my boys come in, I'm like, I think I'm considering a boob job in the morning, and by the end of it, I'm like, nah, I'm good with the complications. So I'm still dealing with it. I'm still
And I think
fighting
it's a process. It
It's a
doesn't
process.
mean you have to make a decision
Today, yeah,
whether
yeah.
you're doing it or not. But before you do it, have conversations with people who've done it, the
Yeah.
complications that have happened to real women who've actually done it.
And the question you need to ask yourself is, do you,
You
want
want
it?
Yeah.
You know, that's what helped me. Like, I constantly ask myself, but Rinima, is that what you want? Or is that what you're doing for him or for Instagram? Because I also remember telling my boys, maybe if I have bigger boobs, I'll get more likes and more views. I have fallen into that rabbit hole. You know what I mean? It's so easy.
I'm just gonna, trail along what you're saying.
Yeah.
When your problem is about augmentation.
Yeah.
When I've dated men, and they've always said that, you're too fat for me.
Oh.
I'm saying this as it is,
I know,
right?
I'm
Because
sorry.
I've gone through it.
Yeah.
There are times when I'm like, should I go to the gym or be fitter for him?
Yeah.
And no, that is not the answer. I need to be fitter for myself. Right now, I know that, like I eat better. I'm on an anti-inflammatory diet. It's very difficult for big women and their hormones to sort of,
Right.
we're just
All
broad
together.
structured. Yeah. So it's difficult. But to actually do it, I want to do it. I want to go on that health journey. Like you said, I also want to run like a child. And if you need to do that, you need to be lighter. This is like a fact of nature.
Yeah, your
I mean,
knees
it's
gonna
just the
hurt.
aerodynamics of your body, right?
Yeah.
So, but you're doing it for yourself.
That's what's, and that's why I think
Yes.
I had. And it's not easy for me to come here or to come here and share all of this. Trust me, it's one of, I thought it'll go to my grave, and I questioned myself. I think I brought it in the 45th minute or maybe later of the podcast, because I kept asking myself, do you want to share this? Because I could have just shared this with you off camera, but I'm like, you know what, if we don't do this, what's the objective of this show?
Absolutely.
What's the objective of this conversation, and what's the objective of us choosing such an elephant in the room, the topic that we are talking about? But I think again, since I want to just say that I struggle with it too, and I understand if you do, and you look out for validation, it's very natural. It happens to the best of us. Most of us go down that rabbit hole, but I think I just want to say what helped me was constant honest self-introspection, and reaching out for help when I possibly could, and just surrounding myself with the right kind of people who encourages me healthy things rather than unhealthy stuff. And I think, that's just few tips and tricks that if you want to pick up from this, you totally can. And then decide if you want a boob job or not.
I think, whether it's a boob job or whether it is like, a weight transformation goal where you want to go from, say,
gonna be
a 92 to 62, whatever it is, or you want a six-pack body, because that's what everybody wants, girls and boys today. Whatever it is, if you're doing it for gratification from the outside world, from your partner, from social media, from like everybody else vis-a-vis you wanting it, it's always going to have a problem, and it's going to like not be aligned with who you are as a person.
You're never going to be satisfied unless you want it.
Because you want it, and if you make a plan, and if you say, hey, I am going to do this, I'm going to research, I'm going to do all my research before I make a decision, you make that decision just on the basis of what you want. That would make you a happier person.
If you're basing it on a man, my dear women, men are so confused. Their desires change all the time. If they like this size today, they're going to like the other size tomorrow. Before we go away. I mean, we're not going away. We're going to come back again for the next podcast. But then before we go away today, let's end it with it might sound like a yoga class, but with gratitude about the fact that we have them.
And we're alive with all the freaking viruses that are like around. Like
And
this,
so far, so
these
good.
breasts, this body has housed us
Seriously.
through all of this.
I mean, can you imagine without, it's going to be a tough journey without them. And there are people who actually have to get rid of them, people who have to make them because they weren't born with the right bodies. And then we are here privileged women who actually have them natural, beautiful, disease-free, and we complain about it all the time. Human beings.
We're never satisfied with what we have.
When are we getting funded?
Yeah, that is the question.
Bring out the funds, you big boob, small boob, no boob, whatever you feel. When you have the money, come to us, fund us. We're going to continue talking
If
about
Joe Rogan can get $200 million, we'll talk about boobs, so that 2 zeros in that. Just put a number.
ahead. That's just as relatable as we can make it for you. But yeah, we will really appreciate that. And I think thank you. We will end it thanks to you for being this witty, for being the open, for being the intellectual, gorgeous, pretty, nice human being that you are. I had an absolute pleasure. I think I was bloody stoked at the current moment to just have you, because I feel like wavelength is bloody in sync.
And maybe you can also be a guest on the show. We are open.
Yes, we're open to having like guests on the show. We want more and more women, men, whoever, like who means well to us out there. Is
To break those stereotypes.
Yes.
To be more inclusive, to be more diverse in
To address elephants in the room.
yeah, the big elephants that nobody talks about. Like, who knew that we talk about boobs and then understand that the whole sexualization and the fetish started because men and culture and society
to us.
wanted to just cover us up.
We are the victims, remember?
Open it out now.
Yeah, we're the victims and we're here to
And whether we cover it or open it, the choice is ours.
ours. Remember that. That's what the note we're going to leave you on, personal autonomy, even on boobs or not. But do let us know what do you prefer, what do you like, and open it up. Tell us what experiences that you may have had regarding your boob sizes and whatever. You know,
Funny stories.
Funny stories. Please bring it up in the comment section. We love you guys.
Of how the button just pops in the middle of like a meeting.
Muffin situations, love it, and how men ogle. Whatever your stories are, bring it here. Your thoughts, your comments means the world to us. And Jay's gonna be with us. We're gonna continue to talk about beautiful things because I feel these are all beautiful topics. It's not ugly in any way or form. But don't forget though to comment, like, share, hit the notification bell. We do this once a month, and you don't want to miss this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is fun. This is so much fun.
Bye, you guys, from the KOMO Show. Jane and I will see you next month on even beautiful topic.
February, month of love. We don't know what it's going to be, but maybe
We'll center it on love.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know.
Love and marriage and maybe
We are cuckoo people. We think of things and then we cancel it. We don't know, but we'll see you guys. Ta-da. Bye. So we drew. This is Jane's boobs. These are my. These are mine. Okay, they're gorge. So we said
gorgeous
gorgeous,
itsy-bitsies and gorgeous oversized ones as well. But I have a story because you drew them. Why did you draw them like this?
I'll tell you, because in my school, in 7th grade and stuff, boys will just draw. They'll say, Rinima, my favorite alphabet letter is WR. I'm like, okay, WR. And I'm like, why? They're like, because your boobs are like this. You know, you assholes. Boys were so mean in school.
So my story is like when I was in college, my college boyfriend told me, hey, I went into the restroom or whatever. They have every woman's like boobs and ass like drawn or pictures, and they, you know what they do?
They masturbate to it.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God.
Mate, you are nasty.
But yeah, I mean,
Masturbation is okay, but like,
yeah,
you
but
know.
this is beautiful.
Yes.
That not
That
so
is not
much.
Maybe
This
not.
is like happy graffiti.
This is art.
Yeah, this is art.
That's not.
The thin line between
Art and vulgarity? No, that's that.
this is that.
Oh God, all right, bye guys.